Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to auscastnetwork.com for details.
In a world where everyone says hello,
they dare to say,
g'day.
Yeah, g'day.
Yeah, g'day!
Yeah, g'day. Yes. Good day. Yeah.
G'day.
G'day. Yeah. G'day. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Good day.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
Good day.
G'day. Hey. Yeah. G'day. Yeah. G'day, Tim.
Yeah, g'day, Leon.
Yeah. G'day, bushrangers.
Yeah, g'day, all the bushrangers out there listening out there on your bushranger wireless that definitely
Wireless.
doesn't exist.
My wireless. I can't tune into AM anymore.
What's going on with that? The world's changing and I don't like it.
This episode is for bushrangers only, so if you're not a bushranger, kindly pack up your things and shut up your ass.
Or become a bushranger. You can. We'll accept fledgling. Fledgling.
Fledging. If you look inside, you'll find that we were all bushrangers all along,
It's true.
and the real journey was inside of us.
Yeah, Steve Hart was inside us all right.
Ooh.
Hello.
Tim, this week we're on to episode 40.
Naughty
Lordy, episode 40.
40.
Oh, all right. This is where the switchover comes. Tim and I have been really clean for the last 39 episodes, but here is the point
Yeah.
where it's we're going into that R rating.
Yeah. 3 minutes of us just trying to say the C word as quickly as possible, as many times as possible.
I nearly said it then. Charisma. So today is a bushranger episode,
It is.
as we've mentioned.
And we're progressing with our Kelly gang.
We are all the Kelly ladies and boys, mainly the boys in this one. Tim, last time we talked about Dan Kelly,
We did, yes.
the big D, the DK.
Yep.
Oh my God, Donkey Kong.
Dan Kelly.
And this time we're talking about a non-Kelly of the Kelly gang.
Yes.
Um,
One of two non-Kellys.
yes, there was a half, non-Kellys and Kellys alike.
50% of the Kelly gang was Kelly. The other 50% were minority holders
Kelly Rowland
in the company. Yep.
Kelly Clarkson. We're going to talk about Steve Hart.
Steve Hart. And I'm going to do the information this time.
Yes, because Leon left all his marking until today and just did about 4 hours of marking. So
Yes. So it's my turn. I'll talk to you about Steve. Look, there's not a lot to say about Steve.
his Wikipedia page is like one paragraph.
Yeah, he didn't live the most illustrious life, and he kind of was just following along with the other boys,
Oh, yeah.
from what we can understand. Of course, I'm sure he was a very unique, well, from what I've read, he is a very unique young man.
Well, supposedly.
Yeah, but obviously he had a lot going on. But because we have to rely on the stories that we have, which mostly revolve around Ned and the gang's situation.
And n.wikipedia.org.
Yeah, he plays something of a... Yeah, in Wikipedia. He plays something of a backseat to old Edward. But let's talk about him anyway. What we do know. Stephen Hart. Steve-O. Stevie.
PH or V?
PH. But
classy.
V when you shorten it.
Because otherwise it's Steph.
That's true, actually. Yeah, it would be Steph. So Steve Hart, born 13th February, 1859.
Good year for wine. I've been told.
I'm sure it probably was. I don't know.
Probably wasn't.
Couldn't tell
wasn't
you.
a bad year.
He was born in Wangaratta.
Wangaratta.
Know where that is? Because I don't.
Wangaratta or Wangaratta? Is there a U in there, or are you saying Wangaratta?
No, I'm
weirdly?
saying Wangaratta.
Wangaratta.
Wangaratta. To Irish immigrant parents, his parents' names were Richard and Bridget Hart.
Were there Bridgets back then?
Bridgets existed back that early, yeah. They've actually traced back the earliest Bridget to about 200 years before this. They found her in a cave. She was iced up. And then they figured out that she was a Bridget.
Ancient Egyptians
yeah.
wrote about the coming of Bridget.
Isn't that interesting? He had a lot of siblings.
How many?
Brothers, he had Richard, Hugh, and Thomas.
Yep.
And then sisters, he had Esther, also named Etty, which was something they did back then.
Okay.
Jane, Winifred, and Agnes.
7.
7.
Wait, plus him is 8.
8. Yeah.
So it's, what was his dad's name? Richard.
Richard.
Richard and Bridget plus 8.
Dick and Bridget. Yeah, Dick and Bridget.
Who's Dick and Bridget? And Winifred is that's a real
Winifred's a
home
nut.
run.
Yeah, it's an interesting name. Winnie for sure.
Also,
I
how
imagine.
did you say Esther just then?
Esther?
Well,
Maybe I said Esther.
Where's the th? Where's the it's Esther.
I may have said Esther. I don't know.
No, it is Esther. It's not Esther.
It's TH and it's spelled ESTHER.
Hey,
Esther.
do any Esthers listen to this?
Whatever.
Are there any Esthers? that
Let's
listen
call her Eddie. She doesn't come back up again, so it doesn't really matter. We'll call her Eddie from now on.
Call Winifred
She
Winnie
literally
Blue.
does not come up a single time again.
I'm more interested in that family. Anyway,
Hart, sometimes, I'm talking about Steve now. Steve-O.
Stevie.
Yeah. So he was apparently sometimes a bit of a jockey, and I mean jockey in the sense of the
literal
sport.
sense.
Yeah.
You know, he was a disc jockey
Yeah.
on the wireless radio.
Yes, he was. No, he rode horses in a racing fashion, I understand, around Beechworth and Wangaratta. Apparently he won the Benalla Handicap, which is a race in the sporting world, I think. But I don't know if he won like straight out. I think something happened. He protested and through that protest won.
Was he a small boy?
He must have been. Jockeys have to be
jockey?
small, yeah.
Have jockeys
And
always
then
been small?
There's all the rumours that he rode around in feminine attire, as Wikipedia puts it so politically correctly, and rode side saddle to avoid detection. So he would ride around.
If you had a beard,
in
though, it
drag.
might set him off.
He doesn't have a beard though.
Oh, well, we
Steve-O
can't talk
doesn't have
about
a
it now.
beard. Yeah, no beard at all.
That's kind of fun if he did that. I'm down for that. If he dressed up in feminine attire
Feminine attire. Yes,
and side saddled around town.
He's
I'm
just
a lady.
He's just doing him. He's just doing him.
You do you.
1877, he was convicted of horse theft, which is usually how these things start. It's always horse theft.
Well, you got to steal a horse.
An illegal use of a horse. I don't know what he was doing with a horse, but honestly, I don't want to know. He was using it incorrectly.
You know horses aren't allowed to dance on stage.
Yeah. Sentenced to 12 months hard labour in the prison at Beechworth. He was released with the usual remission period. He promised that he'd work. They let him out because he was being nice. I don't know.
Oh, good boy.
Seems like they did that a fair bit. They'd lock him up and then they'd be like, oh, no, I'm okay. No,
The
I'm
rule-
sorry, all right. I didn't mean to.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then they just let him out. He met one of the Kelly brothers. They think it's most likely he probably met Dan. They probably already knew each other, but they more than likely met in jail.
They're only like 2 years apart in age
Yeah.
as well.
And then apparently when Ned and Dan were out at Stringy Bark Creek, which
Stringy
we
Beak
talked
Creek.
about, which was after they themselves got it themselves in a spot of bother.
Due to some horse theft.
Dan went over and was like, you should come over and help us pan for gold, because remember we talked about they were panning gold. And it prompted Hart's most famous quote, a quote we all know. We all know it off by heart.
Yeah,
Let's say it together. Here's to a short life and a merry one.
Tim
You
and I
can say
sound
it.
the same when
Yeah.
we say it together.
Um,
Here's to a short life and a merry one. Is that what he said?
That's what he said, apparently.
Mrs. Hart, please, Dan, call me Bridget. Bridget, can
seems
Steve-O come
inappropriate.
out to do some gold mining, please? Well, as I've always said, here's to a happy life and a short life, whatever he said. I forgot.
Here's to dying early, I guess. Yeah.
Here's to death. Get out of here, Steve-O.
So they rode off to Bullock Creek, helped the brothers, and Joe Byrne, who's someone we'll talk about in the future. I believe he'd be up next.
I would say so, because
At
we're leaving
45.
Nedwood for the end.
Wikipedia randomly throws in a sentence here. He was a good person to the poor. Don't know how that has any context in that specific situation.
Was he a good poor person?
Oh, he was
or
probably poor.
Was he
yeah.
good to the poor people?
Yes. Anyway, 1878, the four of them hear shots being fired.
Shots fired.
When they investigated, they found the police party camped nearby at Stringy Bark Creek. Next morning, obviously, one of the cops gets killed. People aren't psyched about that. The
Some
other
would
two,
say quite a large spot of bother at that point.
yeah, so it went from a molehill to something of a mountain once that
With a dead
the
man
police was
under it.
killed. Yes. They're out. Other two policemen looking for the Kelly brothers. They didn't know that Joe and Steve were there, apparently. Which, how would they?
They were off somewhere else.
Yeah. When the two policemen returned to the camp, obviously the boys ambushed them, also killed them. You know.
Yeah.
It's neither here nor there, is it?
Look, once you've stolen a horse,
It's true. Once you've stolen a horse, you're in for a life of crime, as we've seen.
killing people.
So they became outlaws pretty much from that on, and were known all around the world. Not the world, the Australian world.
Better to have outlaws than in-laws. Am I right?
Yeah. Anyway, they were known as the Kelly Gang. He took part in the Euroa and
Jerilderie.
What is it?
Jerilderie. You're having a
Jerilderie?
real good time over there today.
Jerilderie robberies.
But you tried to say Benalla as well.
Yeah. Banala? Banala?
Banal.
I don't know how to pronounce this shit.
I don't know why you were trusted with this job.
Yeah.
So he was part of the big. He was part of the big stuff.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Euroa and
Apparently at
Jerilderie.
Euroa, he actually met an old school friend of his, Frances Fanny Shaw. Fanny being her nickname.
Oh, Fanny.
Yeah.
It's me, Steve-O.
It was a different time.
Steve, how's Bridget?
Yeah. Sometimes known as Maggie Shaw, apparently.
Maggie?
Yeah.
Frances, Fanny, Maggie, my friends call me.
Yeah. And it's actually through Fanny that the police found out who the last member of the Kelly gang's names were. So that's how they realised that Joe and Steve were.
Fanny leads to trouble.
Yeah.
I've always heard.
He also specifically stole a watch from the bank manager, Robert Scott, and the teller Bob Booth.
The what?
Oh, this is right. Oh, that's right. So one of the tellers at the bank, when they robbed it, asked for a memento of their having robbed them, I guess.
Yeah, sure, why not? Nothing else is going on in the town.
And apparently Hart gave him a lead bullet with the letter H carved into it.
Right.
Which was the memento.
Great. Was it lodged in the man? Or
No,
just handed to him?
Apparently not. Yeah, he stole a bunch of shit. He liked watches, is what I've learned from this.
Can you imagine that? Like when we were working at Subway and we were told that, if someone robs you, just hand over the money and run. Can you imagine people were like, hey, before you go, can we just a memento of,
you got anything I can take? Maybe?
like a picture or a bullet?
Yeah. Anyway, so he was part of all of that stuff. Of course, in 1880, he was part of the siege of Glenrowan.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was killed except Ned at that siege, and Ned was later... Well, we'll get to
hanged.
it. We'll get it. Everyone knows he's hanged. So, first you had Joe, who we'll talk about next week, and he was shot of overnight. Then Ned gets captured early in the morning in his
the wee small hours.
Delightful...
his fashionable suit.
Fashionable iron suit. And then Dan and Steve are in the hotel, the Glenrowan Hotel.
Yes.
They're stuck there, and then it's lit on fire, and then they find them later on, and they're both dead, suspected of committing suicide.
Well, because I think they had gunshot wounds as well, but they were like lying down next to each other with their heads on towels or something.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell if they died there or if they were dragged there. Remember, we talked about it last time. Listen to the last episode.
So he was actually, his death date's 28th of June, 1880. He was 21 years old. We talked about this before, but all the boys were very, very young.
Very young.
So
well, Dan was 19 or whatever it was.
21 years old when he died. And yeah, he was buried in Greta Cemetery, although there's rumors that that's not true.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. And there's also rumors, you were talking about this before.
Well, yeah, that him and Dan were in cahoots of the
romantic
the lover
variety.
kind. Yeah. But that, we're talking about history that was written by old white men.
Yeah.
Of course they're going to be like, well, these men were lying next to each other with their heads on towels.
Yeah.
So
It's funny how these old white heterosexual, usually somewhat homophobic men seem to find homoeroticism literally everywhere.
Gosh.
When they do history.
It's almost like we're making a comment on something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's that theory that surrounds it. But there was that theory. Who was that other bushranger that we read about? And there was the theories about him being, well, I don't know if it was theories or it was proved that he was also homosexual. But remember we were talking about that, all the articles that you found online, you type in the guy's name and be like, maybe he was gay, and it's like,
yeah.
I don't.
Who cares?
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Yeah. It's mildly interesting because of the time period, but
Yeah.
who actually cares? Yeah.
But yeah, so Stevie Boy Hart. So yeah, I feel like, I'm sure that if we read deeper than n.wikipedia.org or maybe even in that big book I've got upstairs, we'd find out that he did more than it seems, but really Steve Hart was just kind of there.
Something of a bit player. In terms of what this little series we're doing is about the Kelly gang.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about what they did as a gang.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
How do you think they what do you reckon the conversation was about what they're going to name it? Because just because there was 2 Kellys in it doesn't mean it had to be the Kelly gang. Like, yes, there's more Kellys than there are non-Kellys because the other boys don't share a last name.
I don't know.
But, like, that's a big decision to make.
Well, the boys didn't call it the Kelly gang. I think the police called it the Kelly gang. And I think they called it the Kelly gang because they didn't even know. They
That's
knew
true.
that there were other people. They knew after the Stringy
Stringy
Bark
Bark.
Creek stuff that there were 2 other boys there, but
More
they didn't know who
Kellys.
they were until Fanny told them. So they probably just went with
My
Kelly
sister
gang
Fanny.
because they knew Dan and Ned were there.
Well, then I want to be on the spitballing session with the police. What do
Yeah.
we call it?
I'm
Kelly
glad you
Mob?
said balling.
No. The Kelly Kids. Oh, we're getting there.
Ooh, Kelly Kid.
Kelly Kid. Kelly Kids would be way better.
Yeah,
They were kids.
they were literally children.
Interesting. Is that all there is about Stevie Boy Hart?
Yeah, there's rumors that they didn't die at all, him and Dan, and that they disappeared and went to America or South Africa or somewhere else in Australia. But,
We're way too busy doing a Harold Holt watch. We can't be doing a Dan,
yeah,
Steve, and Joe watch.
yeah. Where are they all?
Where are they?
Hit us up, boys.
Yeah, let us know.
You're probably listening to us on your
Wireless.
bushranger wireless.
Well,
so-
considering Steve was such a good disc jockey back in his day.
yeah, he did know a thing or two about jockeying a disc.
Right. So the part of this story that we've now put together in the larger piece is that Fanny ruined everything.
Yeah, she told him who Steve and Joe were.
Oh, I bet you next time she saw Bridget, there was some tension in the air.
Oh,
Oh, Bridget. Hello, Fanny. Or should I say, Maggie?
what do you reckon? Because we know that Ned and Dan's mum was pretty behind them, and she was also in jail for a long
Yeah,
period
in
of time.
jail with her 8-month-old child. Yeah,
What do you
sure.
reckon? What do you reckon Dick and Bridget thought
Dick and
about this
Bridge?
whole situation?
I think that Dick and Bridget, I think they were socialites, really. They would have been out all the time, probably hanging out at the local pub, but also at home, cooking a good stew together.
Yeah,
I think a lot of hand-holding at the table. They were definitely in love, Dick and Bridget.
yeah, I'm sure they were. Who wouldn't be with a Bridget? We've all fallen for a Bridget at some point,
considering
haven't
they found the one Bridget in all of 1800s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That would be interesting to know. Again, I'm sure there's research out there, but it'd be interesting to know what the parents
Yeah.
thought. Well, we know that the general population. Well, I don't know about the general population. There's a lot of portion of people that didn't think they were bad, and I'm usually in that boat.
Yeah, I don't think they are that bad. The stuff that went down at Stringy Bark Creek is not particularly endearing to them, but the rest of it was pretty chill.
I'm not an idiot. I'm not like, they're good people. They killed someone, so they're still good people. I'm like, oh, no, that wasn't nice.
Yeah, no. Everything that went
That
down
was
there was
naughty.
pretty fucked
Slap
up.
them on the wrist.
Yeah, but everything else was pretty tame and relatively, except for Glen Rowan.
Well, stealing stuff from Euroa and jewelry, but everyone was doing it. We're all stealing horses.
Yeah, it's true.
I've got to teach a unit of work coming up, I think next term or the term after, called Ned Kelly Hero or Villain or something like that. So that'll be interesting. I'll just grow the beard out. I'll reread that tome I've got upstairs.
Just play him this fucking episode of this fucking podcast.
Yeah, fucking righto. Yeah, fucking bloody RSL. Fucking
Yeah, I said fuck, didn't I, boys? Listen to this one, aren't you, with your teacher?
That's the most we've said it in a short period of time on this show. But in real life, it's tame.
It's pretty fucking often, to be honest.
Fucking nah.
Yeah.
Good. Steve Hart, not to be confused with Beth Hart, although he was part of the band at one point.
Yeah, Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
Yeah.
He
He
started.
played Triangle.
Yeah, he started the band. Even though Beth Hart's from the 1900s.
Doesn't matter, does it?
What a story!
What a story. What a bloke.
What a guy!
What a bloke dressed up in feminine attire.
I wonder how much he committed to it. Because there's multiple ways you can wear feminine. It's probably a conversation.
I wonder what Michelle Visage and RuPaul and Carson Kressley would have to say about his outfits. Potentially. Allegedly.
So maybe plot twist. Here you go. Take this. Put this in your little basket and put this in your conspiracy theory hat.
I'll chuck it in my hat in the basket.
Steve Hart is also Fanny.
Yeah, that's very unlikely.
No. So Steve Hart, here we go. Here's the conspiracy. I'm going to start a conspiracy on here because I have the power. Steve Hart, supposedly dressed up as a woman, rode around town in that. So he put this Fanny character out there early on.
Mm.
And then from the way you've read that Wikipedia article so accurately, it sounds like Steve was the only person that saw Fanny.
True.
Like, possibly. And as we said, they would have come up with the Kelly gang, but there were 2 non-Kellys in there.
Mm.
So there's possibility these boys were like, well, fuck, like, I'm pulling my weight too, but no one knows that I'm not a Kelly.
Yeah, I see where you're going.
Steve Hart becomes Fanny,
Mm-hmm.
goes to the police, and he's like, yes, there is also Stephen Hart and Joseph Byrne.
Write that down.
Write that down.
Yeah.
And we do not like the Kelly gang as a name. Thank you.
I mean, they don't like it. Yeah.
And then pissed off, and we've never heard from Fanny since. Or maybe he's living as Fanny now.
Maybe he is.
I think that's a pretty good conspiracy theory.
It's an interesting theory. It's definitely a possible plot point in a novelized version of the story.
It is. It's the best thing since the conspiracy theory of dingoes and babies.
Yeah.
We have to talk about that at some point.
Baby
as well.
dingoes. They are cute.
No, we have to talk about...
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking
What's
about.
her name?
I don't know.
Cindy?
A dingo stole her baby,
Something?
though. Potentially.
Well,
allegedly. It's never been proven.
We
Innocent
don't have a
till
lot of
guilty.
conspiracies in Australia. Just to take a sidestep. We don't have a lot of conspiracies. We need more. We're going
We
to make
do
them.
need more. We're young.
We
I've
are
got a
free.
dad vice.
Do ya? Dad vice. He's got a big dad vice. It's got the body of a dad and the face of a dad, and it flies through the air because it's got a dad face. Dad vice.
Why would a dad vice give you the power of flight?
I was thinking about the song from Catface before. Anyway,
All right, let me read this
what
to
you got?
Dear Tim and Leon, I am writing hoping to get some help from you with the situation before it spirals out of control. We've just adopted a new puppy, an Australian cattle dog. Good dogs.
Bluey.
And he is the cutest. The problem is that he is very badly behaved. Do you have any dog training tips? How can I get him to do what I want without punishment? And then they've written in brackets, I don't like being mean to him because he's so cute. Hope you can help. Jemima.
Conspiracy theory. Jemima is fat.
Yeah.
Jemima. Cute dog. Want to train it. Don't want to punish it. First option. Don't train it.
That's one option.
It's
I've seen it in practice.
pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Second option. Train it, but only reward it and don't punish it. Just give it treats.
Treat training.
Treat training. I've never had a dog, so I don't know how to do this.
Maybe Jemima should have known that so that she didn't ask you specifically.
I'm surprised that Jemima didn't know that about me. You know, just after the show and how much I talk about I don't have a dog on this show.
I've never. Well, I mean, I'm sure Jemima hasn't heard you specifically state on every episode. Just so everyone's aware, I've never had a dog.
In case anyone writes in, the only pets I had before were fish and sea monkeys.
So if you have questions, I can answer questions about both of those, but
And
not dogs.
little blue tongue skinks and things that I'd catch in containers. All of them were called Leo.
Every single one of them.
That's a fact. Shit, that's one of the security questions you get on those things. Shit.
Well, it's actually worse that you referred to the security questions.
Shit.
Nobody knew that. But,
Someone's going to hack into all my accounts, my Bebo. Get another dog. Get a second dog that's already been trained by someone else.
Right.
Because if you can't see it, it's not happening whether they were mean or not to the dog. Not mean, but, you know, train them with force.
Yeah. Force training.
Force training.
Force hopping.
And then
yeah.
you pay that dog to train the other dog.
Right. Okay. So you hire a dog to train your dog. How much do you think you'd need to pay a dog to train the other dog?
What's the minimum wage for dog training by dog?
Is this outlined in Australian Standard Awards rates?
Yeah, there is an enterprise agreement.
Yeah.
That goes with this.
You want to pay a bit above it though, so that it can't complain when
So
it has to
it's-
work on public holidays,
The only
like
issue-
all other fucking hospitality jobs do.
The issue is that most dog training dogs are trainees at the moment. So you do also have to hire a third dog that's higher up.
It's
That's
a
the
fledgling.
supervisor.
Yeah, it's a fledgling.
Yeah, it's
Fledging.
what's with you on the fledge word?
I don't know.
So there's I propose a series of dogs that train. So not dog trainers, but dog trainers.
A dog training pyramid scheme is
Yes,
what you're
built
putting
out of
forward.
dogs.
Yeah.
If you could build a pyramid out of dogs, that'd be a pretty good trick.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But if you build a dog out of pyramids,
With the
I guess
biggest
that's
dog
the
on
Sphinx.
top.
biggest dog. But one of those, what are they? The Marmot?
Like a Saint Bernard or something.
Yeah, or the German or the Alaskan It's not a Marmoset.
Marmoset is definitely not a dog.
A Marmaduke. I don't have advice, Tim.
Right, yeah.
What's your advice?
Just love it.
Oh, fucking.
Dogs are pure. Dogs are lovely. Just love it and it will be good.
Dogs are pure. You've had dogs. I know this.
Yeah, we didn't really.
Jemima knows this too.
Ours were pretty well behaved.
Well, yeah, you trained them with force.
Some of them.
Some of them. Get a cat
No.
and then train the cat to train the dog. Cat trainer.
Yeah, but the cat then works at whatever hours it wants.
Yeah, exactly. The cat rides the dog around. Get a Ratatouille situation. I haven't seen the movie, but from what I understand, Ratatouille sits under the hat of the chef, who's also named Ratatouille. And
The chef's name
pulls
is not
the hair.
Ratatouille is
and
the name of the
directs it.
dish. Nobody's name is Ratatouille.
Isn't the rat named Ratatouille?
No,
Oh.
the Ratatouille is a dish.
I know what Ratatouille is.
Why would the?
Have you seen
Oh,
Ratatouille?
please. I know what French cooking is.
Have you seen
I know what
Ratatouille the
is.
movie?
Yeah.
So what's the rat's name?
I don't know what the rat's name is.
This
Who
is
cares
fun.
what the rat's name is? I don't know what any of the characters'
Is
names
anyone else out there in the podcast interwebs on my side thinking that the rat was called Ratatouille?
I'm pretty sure the rat's name's not Ratatouille.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah. Jemima, next time send in a question that we can answer.
Yeah. Damn it, Jemima.
Just some feedback for you, Jemima.
Yeah.
If you're listening.
Yeah.
Jemima.
Stop getting your questions off Wikipedia, Jemima.
Jemima. Do you know what I looked up today? I had to look up, I think I looked up good night's sleep to check whether it had a lot of hyphens in it, which it does.
The phrase "good night
yeah,
sleep."
a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
No, when I sleep, I think of hyphens. And one of the things that came up in the Google search of like possible questions was, what is good sleep?
What is good sleep?
Can you imagine being so sleep deprived that you turn to Google and you're like, Google,
Jesus, what is that?
is good sleep?
Yeah. I hear a lot of people talking about it. I've
Yeah,
not
what?
Experienced it myself.
People keep telling me to have a good night's sleep. What is a good sleep?
Yeah.
Would you say, because I guess you like, is your sleep good or is it great? You know?
It's moderate.
Yeah, my sleep is fine. It does the job.
Mm.
I recharge.
I'm still alive, so that's...
So get your dog to sleep lots,
Yeah.
and they'll regenerate.
A sleeping dog is a
powers.
trained dog. That's what I've always said.
Build a helmet like in Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Make it sentient.
Yeah, that could work.
Then it will train you.
Or hire a dog that's already sentient to build a helmet to give your dog sentience.
If the dog was already... Wait. Is the other dog sentient because of a helmet, or they're just sentient?
I presume so.
Okay, so if the other dog's sentient because of a helmet, why would you not go to the dog that already made the sentient helmet?
Well,
Because assumingly a dog made it.
he's probably going to be charging higher prices than the dog that is just
But you want to pay the other dog above minimum wage,
Yeah.
so he stays in the game.
Well, I don't know.
What's with our dog-related... like, all dogs, in our world, people don't do anything. It's all dog-related.
I hope so.
Because that's why they're so pure.
That's the kind of world I want to live in.
Dog backwards is goad, which is close to God.
Yeah. Goat is very close to God.
So, that's something for you.
All right.
Well, that
was a lot of
it
nonsense.
stumbled out of proportion. Oh, what? So Stephen didn't have a beard?
No beard.
So he's a
This
Steve
picture-
Hart on the beard scale.
I mean, he might have had a beard later on because they're out in
Maybe.
the bush for ages.
Well-
But this picture of him, he has no beard.
Okay, so he's a 0 on a scale of 1 to whoever was at the top. I've really got to draw that scale. Hey, fans, just draw it for me.
Yeah.
How's that?
Or if you know a dog that can draw.
Pay them above minimum wage.
Yeah.
If the minimum wage is $18.90, pay him $19.
Yes,
We don't have to. Tim, fuck. This sentence has just gotten away from me.
You're taking some time getting it out. Yep, continue.
Let me take it back. I'll edit it out in post. Tim, your beard and hair is looking moderate at best right now.
Thank
What do you use?
Oh, Bushrangers Brew.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Wow.
I use the beard shampoo oil.
Yes.
Bunyip Dreaming. Shampoo it up, wash it out.
Yep. That's how shampoo works.
Yep. Also use beard balm.
Mm.
That one's
Rum Rebellion.
Rum Rebellion. Yep, I was trying to remember the name for some reason.
Have you been dreaming of Bunyips more?
Yeah, I've been dreaming about things that Bunyips dream about.
What do Bunyips dream about?
I can't understand it. It's all in Bunyip, so it's very difficult to understand.
Bunyipian.
Yeah,
Right. Okay. So use that one. I use Mystics.
Mystics. Yeah.
I use the beard wash and the beard oil, and I've got my beard balm. I need to get more in the beard balm habit. We haven't talked about it much though, but Joel, our good friend Joel, also makes mustache wax that smells like mint. Which,
wax your mustache right off.
Yeah, just pull it off. No, so you can twirl it and stuff. And I've used it.
Yeah.
I've used it a handful of times for different occasions. And it's really delightful. It's like when you wash your beard with this stuff and you have that delightful scent, but you just have this delightful scent of mint all day. And it also means you smell good for anyone that you talk to.
Yeah.
But you can go to www.bushrangersbrew.com and use the code YEAHGDAY, all one word, all capital, YEAHGDAY, and get 25% off your order.
The great things about these bad boys is the scent is subtle, but it's there just enough for people to go, what's that smell?
Yeah.
This guy's beard smell nice?
Does anyone else smell Bunyip dreams?
Yeah. I want to lean across and sniff this guy's chin.
Yeah. Tim's had a lot of awkward situations on the tram.
Oh, God, yes.
Lord.
Mostly me sniffing other people's chins. But
Your beard doesn't smell anywhere near as good as mine. But you should go do that and follow him on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram at Bushrangers Brew, I think is his thing. And we thank Joel for his support of the show and for his support of our beards.
Aye, we do.
Aye. Thanks as always to Teylor Smirl, T-Smell, Smelly T, Smelly Belly Water Girly for our wonderful cover art.
And Curtis Fernance for the music. That's Fern Tree Music introduction and outroduction. Yep.
I think Curtis is also doing Twitch now.
He does.
Which is also Fern Tree?
Him and Dan do, we'll have to
I
find
saw him doing his own one the other day. Fuck Dan.
Oh, he doesn't, yeah, sometimes he does it with Dan, sometimes he does it
Get out of
alone.
here, Dan.
Yeah. They play games and you can watch them. You can give them money, I think, as well. So that'd be fun.
You can. You know.
They're funny guys. Watch them.
Pay them with the proviso that he has to compose dad vice music.
Yeah.
We're sitting here,
maybe.
cocks in hand,
Yeah.
no music, me singing songs.
Yep.
What do we not pay you for, Curtis?
Yeah, exactly.
Good on him. You know?
Yeah, good on him.
Follow us on all the social media at Yeagerday Podcasts, yeagerdaypodcast@gmail.com, www.yeagerday.com. Thanks to Auscast Network and to Omny Studio for being our network or hosting us. You choose which job they do. We will also mention that So That's How It Ends has ended.
Oh, so that's how
it ends.
That's how it ends.
Yeah, and so last week we talked about Ali Shit My Pants Shants, great support of the show. So we're sad to see the show go.
We are indeed.
And if you're following the conversation in Yeagerday fans, Ali is now kind of the owner / producer of Yeagerday. See, Tim, you don't engage with the fans. Like
I don't have a lot of power in any of these decisions.
But because Ali, suggested an episode and we did what she said, she kind of ended up, and she's been talking in the group more than anyone. So she just kind of, we paid her to own us.
She actually owns most of my personal possessions now.
They're being shipped off.
Not all of them, but she owns most of them.
To where she's from. But so anyway, that's how it ends. Thank you, Ali and Adam, for all your support throughout. Adam, Dota.
Look forward to seeing what you'll do in the future.
For the next podcast called So That's What They Did Next.
Yeah.
And that's about it, Timothy Dasbot Green.
Yes, indeed. Yep. Fantastic.
It's been a day. All right. As always. Yeah, g'day, Tim.
Yeah, g'day, Leon.
Yeah, g'day, everyone.
Yeah, g'day, everyone. Catch yous on the flippity flop.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to auscastnetwork.com for details.